You are currently operating on a legacy system built by people who wanted you to be manageable. They taught you that being polite was a virtue, but in reality, it is just a lack of tactical options. Every time you smile to ease tension you did not create, you are signaling that your internal peace is for sale. You are being programmed to be a distorted version of your own potential. Welcome to AtlasVibes. This is not a space for motivation. This is a laboratory for psychological reformatting and behavioral literacy. If you are looking for comfort, you are in the wrong place. We are here to deconstruct the reality you have been fed and replace it with a system of absolute logic. Most people spend their lives living in the shades of grey, hesitating between what they want and what they are allowed to have. This hesitation is the primary tool used by others to control your trajectory. In this school of analytical thinking, we do not recognize the grey. Situations are either under your control, or they are irrelevant data points to be ignored. Today, we are going to build the unplayable persona. We are going to install the psychological weaponry required to make you immune to social interference. Stop viewing your social interactions as emotional exchanges. Start viewing them as data collection phases, where every reaction you give is a cost to your system. By the end of this session, the person you were this morning will be obsolete. We are deleting the old code and installing a high-contrast reality. Stay sharp. Stay ready. It is time to see the world in black and white. To understand power, you must first understand the social programming that stripped it away from you. Since childhood, you were taught that empathy is the highest form of human connection. While empathy has its place, it is often used as a hook by manipulators to tether your emotions to their needs. They want you to feel what they feel, so you will do what they want. This is the trap of the savior syndrome. You believe you are being a hero by fixing others, but you are actually just becoming their psychological servant. Society rewards this behavior because it makes you predictable and easy to manage within a group. A person who is constantly checking the room for emotional approval is a person who can never lead. We are here to terminate that social contract. You do not owe anyone an emotional reaction, and you certainly do not owe them an explanation for your boundaries. When you begin to strip away the fluff of social niceties, people will label you as cold. In reality, you are just becoming efficient with your energy. They will try to use guilt as a secondary programming language. They will tell you that you have changed, hoping to trigger a return to your old, manageable self. These attempts as system probes. They are testing the new firewall you have installed to see if the old passwords still work. Do not get angry at their attempts to manipulate you. Anger is just another emotional leak that provides them with the data they need to keep trying. Instead, observe their tactics with the detachment of a scientist. Every manipulative move they make is a revelation of their own insecurity and strategic weakness. The first pillar of the unplayable persona is the controlled emotional response, often referred to as the void response. Most people react to a challenge with either defense or aggression. Both responses are failures because they provide the provocateur with the exact feedback they are looking for. They want to see that they have the power to move your internal state. When you offer a void, you are providing zero data, no defensive posturing, no rising volume in your voice, and no twitching of the facial muscles. Humans are biologically wired to seek feedback during a conflict. When you withhold that feedback, the other person enters a state of cognitive dissonance. They will often begin to over-explain themselves or become increasingly erratic. This is because they are trying to find a reaction that justifies their own behavior. By remaining as unresponsive as a stone, you force them to confront the emptiness of their own tactics. You are effectively making yourself impossible to play. This is not about being a robot. It is about choosing which battles are worth your cognitive resources. If a situation does not serve your long-term objective, it deserves no emotional investment. Practice this in low-stakes environments first. When someone makes a subtle jab at your expense, simply look at them without responding for 3 seconds. Watch how the air leaves the room. They expected a laugh or a retort, and instead, they found a vacuum that sucked the energy out of their joke. This is the beginning of reclaiming your power. You are no longer a mirror reflecting the emotions of others. You are the source of your own stillness. Now we move to the second pillar, the predatory focus, also known as the static gaze. Nonverbal dominance is the most effective way to signal that the old social contract has been terminated. Most people look away or blink rapidly when they feel social pressure. This is a submissive signal designed to de-escalate a perceived threat by maintaining a steady, unblinking gaze during a high-stakes interaction. You signal that you are comfortable with the tension. You are not looking for a way out. You are looking for the truth. This is not about staring people down to be a bully. It is about refusing to break eye contact first, especially when you are being challenged or manipulated. When someone is speaking to you, look at them with the intensity of a predator watching its environment. Do not nod your head to show you are listening. Simply observe. Nodding is a submissive people-pleaser habit that signals you are following their lead. By remaining still, you indicate that you are the one evaluating the validity of their words. This gaze creates a psychological weight that the other person must carry. They will feel the need to fill the silence and prove their worth to you. In the workplace, this is a lethal weapon. When a superior tries to intimidate you with a vague threat, meet their eyes and remain silent until they have to explain themselves. They will realize that their usual tactics of fear do not work on you. You have reformatted your visual presence to reflect an internal state of absolute certainty. Remember, the eyes are the primary interface for social data. If you control your gaze, you control the flow of information in the room. The third pillar of the unplayable persona is lexical scarcity. Your words are a limited currency. Every time you speak, you must be aware of how easily their value is diluted. Most people talk too much because they are afraid of the silence. They offer excuses, apologies, and unnecessary details that serve as breadcrumbs for a manipulator. In a black and white world, communication is binary. Yes or no, done or not done. Everything else is just social fluff that weakens your position. Stop apologizing for things that are not your fault. An apology is an admission of a system error, and if you have not errored, the apology is a lie that lowers your status. If a task is late at work, do not explain the traffic or the personal issues. Simply report the current status and the expected time of completion. By removing the why from your failures, you prevent others from using your personal life as a weapon against you. You become a professional entity focused on results. Strategic silence is more powerful than any clever comeback. When someone insults you, wait 5 seconds before speaking, then ask them a clarifying question about their intent. This forces them to explain their disrespect, which is an inherently weak position. You have turned their attack into a diagnostic session where they are the patient. Learn to be comfortable with the uncomfortable silence. It is only uncomfortable for the person who lacks internal control. By speaking less, you ensure that when you do speak, your words are treated with the weight of an executive order. You are moving from a noisemaker to a decision maker. Lie these pillars to the workplace. Your boss is not your family. They are a stakeholder in your professional output. The moment you treat that relationship as emotional, you have lost the strategic advantage. Use the void response when they attempt to use pressure as a motivational tool. If they ask for more than is reasonable, do not complain about your stress levels. State your current capacity and the priority of the tasks already assigned to you. This is the black and white approach. It is not an emotional plea for mercy. It is a factual report of system resources. In social circles, identify the people who use subtle shade to keep you in your place. These friends are actually competitors who are afraid of your evolution. When they make a joke at your expense, do not laugh to be a good sport. Use the static gaze and ask them to explain the humor in the comment. Watch how quickly their confidence dissolves when they are forced to deconstruct their own passive aggression. You are setting a new standard for how you are to be treated. For the rivals who want to engage you in a game of status, become unplayable. Acknowledge their existence, but refuse to participate in their metrics of success. By not playing their game, you win by default because you are the only one who doesn't need the external validation. Your value is generated internally, not granted by the group. This level of detachment is not without its risks. Psychologists will tell you that a controlled persona can lead to social alienation or burnout from the hypervigilance required. They are right, but they are speaking from the perspective of maintaining a mask. Our goal is not to perform a character, but to build the competence that makes the character real. The look in the eyes we discussed is only effective if it is backed by a person who actually has the skills and the discipline to follow through. If you are all style and no substance, you are just a different kind of puppet. The unplayable persona must be built on a foundation of relentless self-improvement. You must be the most competent person in the room, so that your silence is interpreted as wisdom rather than ignorance. Your detachment must be a choice, not a defense mechanism. This lifestyle is demanding because it requires you to be constantly sharp and ready. There are no days off when it comes to maintaining your internal sovereignty. However, the reward is a level of freedom that most people will never experience. You will be the one who decides how much of yourself you give to the world. You are now equipped with the basic toolkit for the black and white protocol. This is only the beginning of your reformatting process here at AtlasVibes. Go out into the world today and test your new firewalls. Observe the social programming in others and refuse to let it trigger your old responses. Every interaction is a chance to collect data and refine your system. If you lose your stillness, do not get emotional. Just analyze the failure and reset. Loss is not a defeat. It is a lesson in behavioral literacy. The only way to truly fail is to return to the grey world of the manageable masses. We are building a community of analytical thinkers who refuse to be victims of their own psychology. You are now part of this evolution. Take the tools we have discussed today and implement them with clinical precision. The world will try to pull you back into the chaos, but you will remain steady. Your path is now clear, and your vision is focused. You are no longer playing the game. You are the one who defines the rules. Stay sharp. Stay ready. Always black and white. This is Atlas Vibes. Class dismissed.